Hello and welcome back to Expedition 33. This episode is going to be a little bit different. This episode we're going to be focusing entirely on builds, and the reason for this is we have 5 things left in the game that aren't the main story. We have the Mimes, Golgra, the Endless Tower, Clair, and Simon. Now, Clair and Simon I kind of want to level a little bit before we do them. This means that we have Mimes, Golgra, and the Endless Tower. Endless Tower, we can't really progress that much further because I've been told that there is a version of the final boss in the Endless Tower. So, because we want to see that in the main story first, that's post-game content. This means that our options are Mimes and Golgra, which aren't really enough to do by themselves. So, my plan is that we're, instead of doing those right now, we're going to go and do the main story right now. We're going to finish the main story, then we're going to come back, and we're going to do the Mimes, Golgra, and the Endless Tower, then into Clair, and then we'll finish it off with Simon. That's roughly the plan. Now, what I've done between episodes is I have taken down all of the stats for our characters, and I've done one other thing. I have removed all the stats for our characters. We are now at 0. Now, the reason why I did that is so that we can reset ourselves back to level 66, which is the level that we think is roughly about right for facing the end of the game. It also, coincidentally, is the level where you have 198 skill points, which, in case you're keeping track, each skill can have a maximum of 99, so it means that you can have 2 max skills. Makes it very easy to work out how much we can have in each. Even if I split it up, it makes it very easy. So, happy with that. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take each character one by one. We're going to choose a build, which is something that we haven't done on that character yet. And we're going to see how it goes. And that's the plan. I haven't reset the skills because I don't think there's any reason to, but I guess if we need the skill points I could reset the skills. You can reset skills, right? Yes, you can reset the skill tree. So I suppose if we wanted to, we could reset the skill tree, but realistically we're going to have pretty much every skill unlocked anyway, so yeah, it's not going to be a problem. Right, who should we start with? I guess we should start with Verso. Why? Well, Verso's by far the simplest character, so he seems like a good place to start. Now, my other rule is that we're going to have to choose a weapon which is not one of these level 28 weapons. I think I'm going to say that our weapon level that we're aiming for is kind of 20. I think 20 is what I'm aiming for. Now, actually, for Verso, I know exactly what build I want to go for with Verso. I want Verso to do a free aim build, because I know that we can do one, we've seen potential for one, it seems like something that would be cool. So let's try it. And one of my other intentions here is that we're going to try and try out different builds so that we know when we go back and we like, okay, now we're going to advance the character to like the most powerful version of themselves. We know what builds we like, and we have tried something completely different. So what have we got? So anything that's level 28, we're going to completely ignore. I think I'm going to go for 20. We might go for like 25 or something. We've got enough stuff so we can go up. But 20 means that we get all of our abilities, which is all you really need. So that one's missing health. That one's D rank stuff. Light damage can burn on critical hits. I don't think that's what we're after, although what's interesting is the burn damage going up. Kind of like that. Like it goes up per rank, up to 300% on rank S. Apply burn instead of mark. You could go insane with burn if you wanted to. Like absolutely nuts with it. Wait, there's another one right here that has the exact same thing? Huh, but it's on rank up. Weird. Okay. There are a lot of these that just do the same thing, but very slightly different. Okay. Also burn stuff on him. Maybe a burn build would be interesting, but I want to see whether it's possible to do this free aim build. So this one's got play again after base attack. I mean, it is level 28, so it's outside of my range, but yeah, it's interesting. There might be another one that's got that. Norum. Ah, you see, so this is the free aim one, and we've got a hugely overpowered weapon for it. That's the problem. Okay. Base attack is interesting. Bonus damage from Perfection applies to all allies at half value. Bonus damage no longer applies to Verso. Perfection gained is increased by 1 while powerful. Support skills cost 1 less. A support Verso is interesting as a build as well. Yeah, and then we don't have anything else. Do you want to try support Verso? It's definitely interesting, if nothing else. There's something to it, support Verso. It's something completely different than what we've done. Yeah, because the only one that gives us free aim is this one, unfortunately. Yeah, let's try support Verso. We're going to go with Cereso. Okay. We're going to go to level 20 on this weapon. Right, and we're using almost exclusively the old crafting material to do this, which is perfect. Because it means we're not wasting anything we might want. Oh, we don't have a lot of that old crafting material. I might have to go and buy some. Okay. I have a lot of the next level up, actually. Like, a lot more of it. Okay. Well, that is level 20 for the weapon that we've got here, Cereso. Might be worth leveling it a little bit more, but I don't know. Well, we'll stick with that for now. Also means we might have to be careful on the others unless they want to go and buy stuff. How much money do I have? I could buy some. Anyway. So, Cereso. Bonus damage from Perfection applies to all allies at half value. Bonus damage no longer applies to Verso. Perfection gained is increased by 1 while powerful, and support skills cost 1 less AP. So this is going to buff everyone else. Pictos, we're going to clear all of that. I don't know what my rule on Pictos is. I guess we might have a similar rule where we have to aim for things that are kind of down, like, maybe we'll say 25 and less for that. It gives me a lot of options. Yeah, 25 and less I think is more reasonable. Okay, and then Lumina, we're going to reset all of those as well. Oh yeah, how many Lumina points should we have at 66? Is 1 per level, right? So we should have 66? That can't be right, because we used extra Lumina on Verso. I'm going to say 66. I don't know how much we should have, but I definitely used Lumina on Versos. Maybe I only used 2. Or 1. Anyway. Well, I can check on the others, right? 88, so I used 3 on you. None on you, which actually lines up. None on you. None on you. Yeah, okay. So I must have just used some on each of these guys, but nothing else. Huh. Okay. Anyway, fine. So we have 66 Lumina to spend as well. Skills. So, Cereso gives you support skills cost 1 less AP. I don't know why I ran away from the flag, by the way, because we basically want to spend our entire time next to this flag. So let's do that. Right. Let's clear all of these. Leadership is a support skill. Powerful. Applies powerful to 1 to 3 allies, increasing the damage they deal for 3 turns and gives perfection. I mean, that's pretty good as well. So we're looking at powerful. What else have we got here? Leadership, powerful, purification. Dispels self-status. Strike Storm's probably actually still interesting to us. Perfect Recovery is probably still interesting. I'm going to put it in the same slot that it's always been in, because that way I'll remember it. Strike Storm's quite... Actually, that's where I put break things. Strike Storm, I think, is still potentially one to think about. Yeah. Beyond that, we'll leave them for now. Skill tree. What have I got that I can't... Or what have I not taken yet? Haven't taken Burden. Remove status effects from all allies and applies them to Verso. Could be good if we give him like anti-blight and anti-stun and thing. Or yeah, if we give him anti-different types of stuff. That could be pretty good. What about these ones over here? Increase damage each cast. Damage increased by speed difference with target. Increases rank A and refills all AP. Damage increased for each free aim shot this turn. Okay. 5 hits at completion gains 1 rank. Okay. Reapply stun on an extreme single target physical. That seems incredible as an ability. After 1 turn deals extreme single target physical damage 13 hits, interrupted if any damage taken. Oh! Potentially incredible for something like the Clair fight. Let's take this one. Right. Here we go. Learn skills. Verso, we're going to learn this one. I should try and get him some more powerful ones at some point, but that's for later. Right. So, next, we're going to go in here. We're going to give him Burden. Okay. Also, gain 1 rank is kind of useful. What else do we want to give him? Powerful is also good. Yeah. Give him Powerful. Do I want to have a break? He has break in his gradient stuff, so he doesn't actually need to have break. Purification is probably useful if I'm going to have Burden. Yeah. It's probably useful. And then... in Paradigm Shift is so useful, but Burden is just like, it's 1 rank up. So it's almost certainly good. Huh. Okay. What else I've got? I guess Defiant Strike is kind of okay. Yeah. So I guess this would be Defiant Strike. Sorry. This would be Defiant Strike. And then this one would be... what are you going for? Purification? But Perfect Recovery would already dispel effects. We actually don't need Purification. Let's put Burden down here. Let's then put Defiant Strike here. And I think you might even be knowing... you might know where this is going to go. I'm going to put Paradigm Shift up here. I think this is good, right? So, what would our usual turn be? Apply Powerful if we have not yet applied Powerful. Leadership if we need to give AP to allies. If not, Defiant Strike from Mark if I have no AP. Paradigm Shift. If I do... well, yeah, if I have no AP, Paradigm Shift. If I have nothing else to do, Burden to increase rank, I guess. Yeah, I guess. That kind of works. I don't know. We'll have to try it out and see, but I think that this, in theory, is not terrible. Okay, so, for this, we've got Cereso. Cereso scales off of Vitality and ability, and Agility. So Agility, I think, is actually by far our more important stat. Why? We want as much speed as possible for this build, right? We want to be going all the time. So let's learn skills. I clicked the wrong one. Upgrade attributes. So Agility, we're going to max that. I think that just makes perfect sense. Yeah, it makes our weapon better, it makes us better. Then I'm kind of thinking that we just split the rest between Vitality and Defense. So maybe 45 here and then... yeah, 45 here, 44 the other. Let's try that. I may hate this build, but that's the point of what we're doing here. I might really like it. Doesn't need might, because we're not really planning on attacking. Doesn't need luck, because we're not really planning on attacking that much. He's just here to take a lot of turns and give other people a lot of buffs. Here to make everyone else look a lot better by him being here. Okay. I accidentally put us... I did actually accidentally put us in walk mode. Huh, I noticed that earlier. Anyway, but it was odd. Pictos. So we're looking for speed here. Speed is the most important stat for us. And then we're looking for ones that are within my level range. Combo attack. Not for you, because I'm almost certainly going to do a base attack build with someone else. Sniper. First free aim shot can break and does increase damage. It's okay. Yeah. Convert all physical damage to void damage. No. To rush speed increase. Maybe. Yeah, maybe you can do that. That might be okay. Maybe survivor as well. So a bunch of speed there, and then maybe something that just gives them a bunch of health and defense. Although they all leveled up, which is the problem. You don't have any way of doing that. Consume an AP to prevent status effects application if possible. Honestly, that might be all we need here. He is so gonna, like, he's gonna be so paper. He's gonna die. I don't know, maybe. Although I'm judging his health by our current health values, which are inflated because they're an extra 20 levels ahead. And using more powerful stuff. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that this is perfectly reasonable as a build currently. Now, rush speed increase would imply that I have a way to apply rush. Do I have a way to apply rush? Maybe. It's going to be in support, right? By point cost, not cheater. Double mark could be useful. Healing mark allows him to heal. Yeah, that's not what we're looking for. Energizing parry is probably still worth it. Yeah, you're not doing those. Auto regen. Auto rush. I mean, that would be good. I guess, for applying rush. Charging count is interesting as well. Let's see. AP per gradient charge consumed. 2 AP on applying rush. Yeah, but do I have a way of applying rush? That's the question. Because I currently have greater rush, but do I actually have any way whatsoever of applying that? On applying powerful, its duration is increased. Yeah, that seems good. That's all interest. On applying rush, on applying shell, its duration is increased. Apply powerful on applying shell. You don't apply shell though. Apply shell on applying rush. Yeah, so we're looking for rush on something, but I guess we don't have that. Like rush on powerful would be perfect for us. Energy tints also apply rush. Interesting. Not what I'm thinking of. Healing an ally applies rush. Yes, but you're not doing that. Energizing jump. Break a target doubles its burn amount. Apply defenseless on break. Yeah, again, it's a lot of this is just trying to find something that's going to work. Death, healing an ally applies this, but yes, but we're not going to heal because we don't have a heal. Gain rush if fighting alone? Yeah, definitely not. Maybe I don't want rush, mainly because I don't think I have any way of applying it. Yep. Okay, greater rush is out due to having no way to apply that. So anything with speed that would be good here. Apply mark on break is interesting. Gradient charge on break, shell on rush. I don't apply rush though. That's the problem. I don't apply any of this stuff. Gradient charge on hitting a weakness. Healing an ally applies. I don't do any of this. Apply defenseless on break. No. Slow speed reduction. Heal AP or HP upon applying a buff. Yeah. Okay. I apply buffs. That works perfectly. Okay, longer powerful's good. I'm only really applying powerful and leadership while taking away things from others. Okay. But draining cleanse should mean I can use my AP to then take away negative effects. So that's fine. Don't need to be worried about anything else with that. Okay. Back through here for a second. So, is there anything on applying powerful that would be good here? Yeah, don't want that one. Would be good to have a lot of AP. Like, energizing parry still seems like it's probably pretty good. Yeah, it's probably still pretty good for us. How many did I have? So if I check active here, sorry. So I'm currently using 25. I'm allowed to go down until I'm at 22. Yeah, 22. That's the correct number. Wonderful. Point cost in support. There we go. I kind of like great charging counter. I think this one could probably be pretty good for us. Yeah. Anything else that's jumping out at me is like, you need this. Being powerful and fighting alone. Is powerful when revived. I'd rather just not die, if I'm honest with you. I think that's probably the better way of you doing things. Killing an enemy gives you AP is interesting as well, but probably not useful in a lot of fights. Okay, let's go back to all. Let's look at favorites. Let's see what I've got in here that I want to put in. I mean, we're not really a damage dealer, so augmented counter doesn't matter. I don't crit. Well, I say I crit 24% of the time, but I shouldn't crit that much. Defensive mode, I think, is useful for you. Shield affinity, you're probably not going to be shielded that much. Painted power, obviously. Maybe this, but I think energizing turns probably there, and then we're looking for things that cost 5 or less. So let's go to point cost. We're looking down in the 5 range. Okay, what do I want in the 5 range? Wreaking burn. More damage, shields on being revived, accelerating heal. Immune to stun is kind of interesting. I guess that is one that you could take from an ally. Yeah, it is one that you could take from an ally and you don't... Yeah, you don't want that to apply to you. Maybe I just take anti-stun here. There we go. And there is your friendly Verso. The Verso who plays for the team. Wonderful. Who's next? Which character are we going to completely mess up the build of next? I don't know. How about Lune? I bet Lune has a free aim build in her. What do I mean by that? Well, I think what I mean by that is I think I've seen free aim things on one of her weapons. Let's have a look. Okay, so base attack applies burn per fire stain. So you could potentially do a burn basic attack build, because you can get it so you can do multiple base attacks. Right? Generate a fire stain at the beginning of each turn. Increase burn damage per fire stain. So generate a bunch of fire stains, apply some burn, and just keep base attacking them. Is my strategy here just base attack and do nothing else? That'd be kind of interesting. The weapon's a little bit more powerful than I would like, but it's an interesting idea for a build. It's just like, ignore everything else, just base attack. Okay. Increased critical chance per ice stain. Radiant charge on a critical hit. Increased fire damage skills. So that's fire and ice. Yeah, so that's critical chance when 4 stains are active. Also we got here lightning skills, light stains. Okay. Fire costs less. Chance to generate a light or dark stain. Yeah, there's one she started with. Earth skills cost 1 less AP. Yeah, that's the one we're using, or have been using. So we could always do a healing build with her. That's an option that we have. Yeah, space attacks can consume Dark Stain. With 4 Dark Stains active, any skill can consume them to do 300% more damage. Okay. There's something you could do there. Oh, there's the one I saw, free aim. Yeah, so they deal damage to an additional random target, 50% increase free aim damage, and then generate a random stain on free aim. So basically just shoot a lot, generate a bunch of stains, and then use those to do whatever ability you happen to have the stains for. I'm going to try this build. I think this is going to suck. I think this is going to be god-awful. But this is going to be fun. Yeah. So this is base attack applies 2 burn per fire stain. You generate 1 fire stain at the beginning of each turn. And you gain 30% increased burn damage per fire stain. Okay. So that seems cool. Let's clear all of these. Yeah. And then we're going to have to go and have a look at her abilities. You know what we should do here? Just to mix things up a little bit. Especially as it's looping again. Where are we? There we go. Right. So now we're doing Lune's stuff. So I'm wondering, oh, this one consumes 3 fire stains. Heals allies by that, and can also apply regen that heals on turn start. That's actually amazing. Yeah, I was looking for things that used fire stains, right? Like, that would be incredible. Basically, just pick things that use fire stains almost exclusively, and it gives you light back, which is fine. Although you'd then want to use the light stain in theory. Although it wouldn't matter, because it would override. Yeah. Consume all stains to deal high elemental damage to the target. Can break if 4 stains are consumed. Now these are the kind of stuff that I think is quite interesting. Consumes 2 fire stains for double thunder strikes on turn end. Okay. Oh, at the end of their turn as well. That's at the end of their turn. Okay. Well, I'm going to buy that. I'm going to buy this. And then we're going to get Stormcaller as well. Alright. Let's see how this looks. Again, I don't know why I ran away from the thing. So, what are we thinking of for her? I mean, Rebirth is probably also worth having. Let's have Rebirth in there. Revitalization. Rebirth, Revitalization. Anything else that we might want? Stormcaller. Healing Light. Not entirely sure what else you would want here. We kind of got everything we would need. What's situational? Thermal Transfer is pretty situational. Gives you AP. The only problem is that, like, you wouldn't ever get the second turn, but it would be a way of giving you AP. But, like, if you're going a base attack build, why do you care about AP? I guess Rock Slide is kind of interesting. Like, the ability to break is interesting. Okay, let me think about this a little bit. What exactly do we want to do? We just have 2 slots free, that's the problem. I mean, Lightning Dance would never trigger. Yeah, some of this is just like, that will never, like, there'll be no reason to ever use that ability. That's all you really need on her. Already? We got anything else for her to learn that might be useful? Oh, no, this one. The 4 Stains one, definitely. Yeah, forgot that one. That allows you to generate a bunch of different stains, which you don't really need. Deals increasingly high fire damage to enemies every turn till Lune receives damage. Okay. I kind of like Fire Rage then. Yeah. Okay, we're going all in on fire. If the enemy's immune to fire, we are, like, in trouble. Okay. So what are we thinking our turns are here? Let's just do... I'm gonna move these as well. I'm gonna put that there and Healing Light there. Okay. So what would our turns be? Okay, if nothing else happens, we attack. Then we attack, then we attack. That's all fine. So we do that 4 times. We can break with this, and we can deal high elemental damage to a target here. And it consumes all stains. So, that's going to do a bunch of damage. Revitalization, and that breaks. Actually, we put breaks in the corner. Put breaks in the corner because that is consistent, and then we remember where our break is. Okay, what was the other one? It was... not Immolation, not Fire Rage. Stormcaller, there we go. So, if we think we're not going to get hit, we use Fire Rage. Because there's no reason not to, right? Like, this is just pretty good. Especially if we're using Verso at the same time, because then the self-stun can just be neutralized. Stormcaller, I guess we use if they're getting a lot more turns than Lune is. Yeah. Revitalization we use if we need to heal. That's an obvious one. Healing Light we use if we need to heal and dispel status effects. Rebirth we use if we need to heal, or sorry, we need to res. And then Mayhem is break. Yeah, that seems perfectly straightforward to me. Like, it's a very straightforward build, but gives you a lot of utility. We've made another support character. That's okay. This is because we made no support characters as a base, so when I'm like, let's try a different build, support tends to be what pops up. Okay, so she does have a lot of healing. What do we need for her? Well, let's first of all go to this and go to upgrade attributes. Now what happens if you go to 99 luck? You see the critical rate only goes to 41% based on 50, like if you go down here to 50, like down to 54, so the first half, right, of your stats gets you 30%, the second half gets you how much? Like, yeah, gets you 11%. It's crazy the difference between them actually. Yeah, so I'm not going mad. Like, extra points is just bad. Although it does increase your speed, which I assume it doesn't increase your speed by that much on the lower ranks. Might actually increase your speed by more. Yes, might increase your speed by more. Doesn't matter. Anyway, I think she needs luck because her weapon scales off of luck. She needs defense because her weapon scales off defense. And then how many stats have we got left? We got 45? 45, yeah. So I'm going to put your points in here. I miscounted on Verso, didn't I? Yep. Okay. 45 in there. That seems reasonable. Right? So she's going to have speed, she's going to have defense, and she's going to have luck. Probably need to boost her health a little bit, but that's okay. I miscounted. This gets you to 80. So actually I needed to go up. Oh no, not that. Okay, I need to go up like... I also didn't realize you can just press A and it puts you to your max on this, on the thing here. That's kind of cool. 48, 49. No. It's 49, 49. Plus 1 is at 50. Yeah, okay. So this should actually be 49 and this should be 50. Basic addition apparently is my thing thwarting us here. Yes, that obviously adds to 99. That also adds to 99. Wonderful. Basic edition. Okay, let's set up some stuff here for her. So we are looking for anything that is... We're actually probably looking at health here. That's her main thing that we need. Just a bit of health. Healing an ally applies powerful. Sure. Sounds great. She might do that. Right? Therefore, it's on there. Her HP on turn start? Doesn't get that many turn starts, I'm assuming. Apply burn on breaking a target? I mean, that's more burn applying, I guess, and it's crit, which is quite nice for her. Protecting heal? Yeah, healing an ally also applies shell. So she gives a couple of buffs when she heals as well. Okay. And burn stacks on breaking a target. That seems good. She's got a ton of health. Yeah. She is pretty strong. Her defense, I'm assuming, is not as high as Verse. Yeah, so Versal's got a ton of defense. She's got a ton of health instead. Okay. Then, in here, we are looking for anything that is like, I think it's all combo attacks. Yeah. So she's looking for all of these. Remembering we can go down to... Well, no, hers isn't... Okay. No, hers is not going to be 22. Hers is going to be 19 we can go down to. Because she's a lower level than Verso and she has less points. Or she has... No, she's same level, less Lumina points invested. So all 3 combo attacks obviously need to be in here. Because each time we attack, it applies 2 burn. So if we have 3, it applies 6 burn per turn, which is good, right? Longer burn is also interesting, but we don't have enough for longer burn. Okay, we don't care about AP at all, which is actually a very interesting thought. Usually we care about AP a lot. We don't care at all here. I guess burn affinity? Quite nice, but oh, we can't afford it. We're looking for something that's less. Breaking burn, increased break damage from burn enemies. Yeah, and then we're looking for a 1 point thing. Yeah, point cost, we're looking at a 1 cost. Defensive mode is like a nice single cost thing. Is probably the best one we got. Yeah, okay. I think that's her setup. Basically, we do not in any way care about anything apart from pressing the just attack button. Then, if we happen to need something else, she has other stuff available. But basically, she's just going to apply burn by base attacking 4 times a turn. And hopefully that'll work. I was saying it's going to apply 6 a turn. It's going to apply 8 burn a turn. Because it's going to apply 1 for the original attack as well. Okay. I don't know how much damage this build's going to do. I think if you had something like Fire Rage and then you also are attacking each turn, like that stacking up, Stormcaller if they get a lot of turns, there's something you can do with that. I think there's definitely a build in there. I don't know if it's a good build, but it's a build. Okay. Who is next? I guess it's CL? Yeah. Right. CL. So the place we have to start with all of these is the weapon. That makes most sense to me. Start with weapon, then once we know what weapon we're using, we can adjust. I don't know even what I'm thinking here. But let's just see what we've got available to us. Free aim shots can consume Foretell to deal 100% more damage. Twilight free aim shots deal double damage. Base attack applies Foretell. There's something in there, but I think it's just a little bit awkward to use. While having at least 1 active moon charge, moon skill is always critical, but damage taken is doubled. Increased damage per moon charge, base attack gives 1 moon charge. So basically, you could do a moon only build with this. Just stay in moon charge forever. and only moon charge. Never go into twilight. Just continually increase your damage and scale to infinity, right? The longer a fight goes, the stronger she is. Okay. Yeah, no. These are too high. This one, curse self and battle start, more damage while cursed. Reset curse duration when entering twilight. Basically, you just continually stay cursed and continually enter twilight. I kind of like the only being in moon builds. Actually, having someone who deals damage might be interesting. Yeah, that might actually be interesting. There's definitely some like defensive stuff you could do here, but no, let's do the I'm always gonna stay in moon and never change. Also the weapon, I mean, come on, look at it. Like that's gonna be worth building something around. Upgrade weapons, CL, this one. I'm gonna have to go buy more weapon. Upgrade bits. Oh, right. Come on, everybody. We're off to buy weapon upgrades. Right. Trying to think where we got stuff.
Here we go.
Back at the Gestural Village, I think. That was my initial thought. There's a couple of merchants there, so that would make sense.
Flashing through the sky.
Yeah. Where if they don't have anything? Don't know, but that's the right area of the map. So let's hope that they do. If they don't, I'm gonna have to just basically go around every merchant begging. I think there'll be some in there. There's a merchant in there we didn't buy everything off of.
Here we go.
Just checking, there's nothing to do with this lighthouse. Nope. Okay.
Hang on tight.
Just saw it and thought, oh, I wonder if there's anything that you can do there. Nope. Okay. Back here, somewhere completely different. Right. Past everyone in here. All the way around here. Hello. I think I need polished chroma, don't I? Wait. Oh no, I need the level higher than that. But you don't sell. You Oh, I thought I had more stuff for you, but I guess we're finished. Okay, so I actually need the higher level. Grandis merchant must have it, right? The one in Minoko Station. Yeah, surely. Yeah. That would make sense. That'd be somewhere that I wouldn't have bought them. Oh, you know who would definitely have them? The merchants who are on the right-hand side over here. Yeah, they will definitely have them. The two Nevro merchants. Almost certainly they will have something for us. That would make sense to me. Right. Through all of these. Back up. And back down and back up. And in we go. Wonderful. Okay. Coastal Cave. What's up? You only sell the weapons, you don't sell the weapon upgrade materials? I hate you. Right, time to leave. Nobody sells weapon upgrade materials between like 10 and 20. It's impossible. It's not that we don't have money for it, it's just that they don't sell them. That might be the end of CL's moon only build if we can't afford it. Yeah, also means that Mayala and Minoko are getting their builds on a budget. Right. I went in a different side here, but it was the right side to go in. I just didn't even realize it before I did it. Oh, that's a shortcut. Nice. I meant that. There we go. Wait, it's not polished chroma. My controller's on, but we're not moving. Okay, this is the merchant where everything breaks. I forgot. Okay, mouse and keyboard. Up to level 9. What do you mean up to level 9? So you don't sell them? Who sells them? This guy doesn't sell that stuff? There's a merchant as you enter Old Lumiere. Maybe they sell it. If not, we have to leave here and go somewhere later in the game. Yeah. Yep. Okay, well, we can have a look. Okay. We're here.
Flashing through the sky.
This is Old Lumiere, right? Oh, there we go.
Hang on tight.
Back in here. And... oh. Hello.
There you go, weirdo.
You don't have any either, huh?
Oh,
Alright then. Back to the consonants. Thinking of easily accessible merchants.
Hang on tight.
Easily accessible merchants who sell higher tier upgrade material. I guess that Endless Sanctuary... is it Endless Sanctuary?
Flashing
One over
through the
here.
sky.
I think that there's a merchant I can access here that will sell things of a higher level. It might be the level above though. Where is it? Endless Night Sanctuary. There we go. Down here.
Flashing
Obviously
through
we
the
can't fight
sky.
anything to get to this merchant, but we can definitely try. So this should be right before the right before the right after the boss area, right before the merchant. Cool. Here. Then the merchant is just around the corner. Not here? Oh, that was the thing. Yeah. Up here? I actually don't know how much these things are going to cost. They might be way too expensive for us. Just judging by how rare they are. Hello. Resplendent chroma. Wonderful. I'm going to buy... you know what? All of them. Cool. That'll work. Right. And now we have to run all the way back to somewhere where we can actually utilize them. But yeah, it means we can't really level any other weapons up like that much. We know it's 3,000, so we know we can get maybe 5 more of them if we need them. I just need to like actually find them. Okay. Stay in at the edge just to avoid anybody who might be wandering, although apparently there is nobody wandering here, which is weird. I know we could just do everything here, but then we can't have our soundtrack, so that's not good. Right. CL. Wonderful. Where were we? Upgrade weapons. This one. Hey, I actually had exactly the right amount. For a second there I thought I had one too few, but actually I have exactly the right amount to get us up to here. Perfect. So luck and defense are her things here. Remembering we're never going to have any foretell. Okay. So, let's just put in our current abilities. She's never going to have any foretell. I'm going to stick Grim Harvest in here. I'm going to put Harvest in here. That's fine. We just have to assume that these don't say anything about foretell, right? She doesn't have it. I mean, it still makes sense to me to have Phantom Blade. Yeah. Like, that makes sense still as, like, a core. Then here, we're basically looking for anything that doesn't say foretell. Like, this one's interesting. Intervention. Plentiful Harvest. Yeah, but it's not going to consume foretell because there is no foretell. So I guess the intervention is probably fine. We need 2 abilities. We need some base, like, I'm just going to deal damage abilities. Means, what's it called? That one's kind of interesting as well, Dark Cleansing, but it's called, yeah, Sealed Fate. It's okay, but it consumes foretell to deal more damage. But I guess it's probably fine. We need like 1 more ability or so, 1 or 2 more abilities just to like put the build together. Because it's not a lot by itself. So if we got in here, so that one's light. Deals medium single target damage, 2 hits, use weapons element. Consumes foretell to increase damage and delay target's turn. Nope. Dark damage, high dark damage to all enemies is interesting. Extreme dark damage, oh, which applies foretell, but it's light. Yeah. Deals extreme single target dark damage during Twilight, extends Twilight by 1 turn. Ooh. Hardweaver, nope, it's not going to use that one. Extreme dark damage to all enemies, absorbs allies' health and enemies' foretell to do increased damage. Targeted ally deals double damage for 1 turn. I mean, this one sounds pretty good. Dark Wave. Yeah. So let's go and equip that. So actually, we can clear that. It's going to be well, it's going to be Sealed Fate, Intervention, Dark Wave. So this is my new setup here. It's a little odd, but it's all moon. Okay. So she obviously needs AP vitally. Like, in whatever manner we can get her AP, she needs AP. Right. Upgrade attributes. What are we going to do for her attributes? Well, I think she needs the 54 luck, right? It's what her weapon scales off of. She actually has a reason to go higher in luck because her weapon scales off of luck. So, the more we have, the better she is. So we could just actually go full crit, right? So it'd be, go back down here. It'd be, oh, you can't do it like that? Okay, be this, right? So that's all we're doing, defense and luck. She needs health from her, yeah, so she would need to get health from something else, but she also needs to get speed from something else. Although she got a bit of speed anyway from luck. Yeah, let's do this. That's what we're going for, defense and luck. And then in terms of Pictos, she needs speed and, yeah, well, speed's a good start. Speed and health would be ideal. Be great if you could double search on this. So like, hey, I want things that have speed and health. Please show me. That's okay. Weirdly, you can descending search. That's what I don't get. Like, They put in descending search, but they didn't think you might want to search for like something that has this plus this. I said it'd be a bit easier looking for health and then looking for speed on the health stuff. That might be easier. Protecting heal you already have. Although she also has a heal, which is quite nice. Cheater, yeah, that'd be great. Not the route we want to go here. What is her speed actually? Let's just compare it. It's half. Okay. Maybe I'm better off just finding something that has speed, something that has health, and not trying to combine them. That might be the actual secret, so I'm better off just doing like that. Maybe that plus something that has speed and something that has speed, health, and something that just has health. That might be the play. Yeah. On applying rush, she doesn't apply rush. On death, allies gain shell. It's only 100 speed on that. It's nice, but... I guess because my limited like range of things I'm looking for, there aren't that many that match. I guess I'm gonna give you longer rush. Sure. So her speed's a little lower, but not that much slower. And then here we're gonna look for just health, and then something like recovery. Yeah, just to give her some bulk. So her defense is actually only a little bit higher than Lune's. Both of them are lower than Verso right now. Alright. Cool. And then these need to be all about AP, and we can go down to 19 again. Does that line up? Is that correct? Or am I stupid? No. Wait, was I stupid on this one? She has 66 Lumina. I can just look at the Lumina count. Yes, so you can go down to 19. That's correct. Okay. Well, most of my favorites are ones that give us AP, so let's have a look. Yeah, you need critical break, because you're going to crit all the time. Energizing parry is probably, like, needed. Blast cannon is probably needed. Energizing turn. Oh, you need painted power. Oh, you don't have painted power. Yeah, you don't have painted power. I'm going to take up Breaking Burn to give you painted power. Yep, definitely. That's not even optional, that's just required. Yeah. Okay. So painted power. This uses a lot of our remaining power budget if I take it. Oh, I need to take warming up as well on her then. I think I end up with too much. Could get rid of critical break here and then give her a 1 point. Now, I don't want to give her defensive mode because... well, maybe I do, because I'd prefer to be alive than anything else. Staggering attack I should maybe give to you, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, if you're going to attack that much, you should have staggering attack. That makes a lot of sense, actually, yeah. I think on here we want defensive mode, because if we get hit, we'd like to live. So... yeah, I think that makes sense. So there's CL's build. It's all about, like basically just spamming the moon abilities and then hopefully having enough AP to do something. Look at active here. Yeah. So we got energizing turn. I guess you could turn that into different energizings, but that plus energizing parry should give you a lot of AP per turn to work with. Yeah. And then warming up is needed, because her whole thing is she's getting more powerful each turn. So this will then work with that, although I guess you could take it out to put something else in if you wanted to. Yeah. Okay. That is CL. So we've done CL, Lune, Verso, Mael and Monoko. We'll leave Mael to last. Let's do Monoko. But you know what that means. You know what that means. And... oh yeah. It's the funky build time. Right. Already cleared that. You know what? Let me just write these down. Just so that I remember. Just in case we want to use this as our base. So it's Bolaro, Galt, Chev, Bush. Why am I writing them down in this order? I don't know. Best, Ballet, and Void. Right. That's fine. And why did I write them down with such weird names? I don't know. Anyway. So, we're obviously not using Bolaro. What if we got this within level? 21, Grandaro, start in heavy mask applies shell for 3 turns. 1 AP per hit taken. I don't really like hit taken. What's my other option? Unaro. Switch to Almighty Mask on breaking an enemy. Mighty Mask gives 2 AP to all allies. 50% increased break damage. I guess we're going Unaro full-on break build? Sure. I don't know what that means. On the positive side, we do have all of his abilities. So if we got anything that's like, I'm good at breaking things. Changes to Almighty Mask if target is marked. Maybe that's the actual thing. So Almighty Mask gives AP to allies. So we're looking at things that give Almighty Mask here. And I start in Almighty Mask as well, right? No, I switched to Almighty Mask and breaking an enemy, so I could start anywhere. So I still need a balanced setup. Okay. Also, yeah. There's some stuff that's like break damage. So Demure Thunder deals extra break damage. And it deals extra in Caster Mask. That's blue. So red, green, purple, blue. So this is gonna be... Where were we? Demure Thunder. Can I see the wheel anywhere? Nope. Okay, so that's gonna move you 5. Which could, if it's where I think it is, move you into... Yeah, wait. Where's blue? Okay. Let's first of all... Alt-tab, I know the music stopped. I apologize. Minoko wheel. Right. Somebody... Oh, apparently that's a maker of actual car wheels. Okay, so I've got a wheel here. I'm going to assume it's the default, because only one of them isn't. So, you know what? Let's put the abilities where they are on the wheel for us. That's actually probably helpful. So this one is going to be Demure Thunder. So blue is top right. So that means that it will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into red or into green. So blue moves you to red or green afterwards. Okay. So that's fine. Or if we're in Almighty, it moves you to red. Alright. So we're looking at something like red that will move us either 3 or 4. Yeah, actually 4 would be ideal, because 4 red puts us in Almighty or blue at all times, right? So, apologies, losing my voice. So yeah, we want something in here that gives us that. So let's look at red. Can I sort by element? Perfect. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Okay. I think I did that before. I'm looking for 4 red. For 4. There's going to be no 4 reds, I'm guessing. Yep, because 4 red would be far too easy. Because obviously it's the best. Which means we're looking for 3 red. Because 3 red will put us into either Almighty or green. Okay. So it does low target lightning damage, deals more if the target's stunned and more if you're in red. Okay, that would be fine. Wait, so where does blue move me if I'm moving in here? So let's say 5 there, so 2. So move me to end of red. So actually 3 in red puts me in Almighty if it comes from blue. But, of course, if I'm not in Almighty... Sorry, if I'm in Almighty, it'll put me 1 less, and that means that'll end up in green with 3. Okay. That's fine. So 3 there. Sorry, I got lost in the where does everything go thing. Also, I want to go into Almighty, so something like this actually looks great if I'm gonna be doing it in Almighty. Okay, anyway. 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. High single target, 6 hits. Ooh. Yeah. Wait, how many is that? That's 2. So it's Chandelier combo, Danu's Waltz, or Sakpatat Estok. Okay. So this one costs 3. How much? Demi-Ear Thunder only costs 2. So I'm going to go for Sakpatat Estok, which is not a lot. And then we're going to follow that up with the Chandelier combo. Okay, depending on how much AP we have going into that one. Green? Green we want 2 or 3. 2 or 3 in green is fine. 2 green will put us in Almighty or blue, which is why it's fine. 3, only blue. So we would prefer a 2. If there is a 2 green, that is what we would prefer. There will not be a 2 green though, because we've already seen that it's awkward in how many it gives you. No more 2 green. That has high break damage though. That's 4. That's high break damage. Moves you 4. Where did 4? 4 would put you in blue. So Stalactite Punches, or it would put you in purple. I think Stalactite Punches are fine. I mean, what's really annoying is I'm looking at this here, and you already know what I'm thinking about for purple, right? Based on all of this, right? Because if you're thinking about purple basically you just want to move them into red. And if you just want to move them into red after you've come into from green, although that's kind of interesting. Agile Mask fills 20% of the target's break bar. 20%? That's so high. Actually, I'm thinking I want that. Means I want... Okay, I'm getting rid of the S-Stock. Moving Chandelier combo down here. I'm putting... Let's put that there. Wait, no, let's clear that. What am I putting down there? The one that said it does a lot of bonk. I'm putting bonk down there. Okay. So bonk. So this moves you 5. So that'll move you to red or green, depending on where you are. If it's green, it moves you to Stalactite Punches. That moves you 4 back into blue, which will infinitely loop. This will infinitely loop, right? You can go between these two forever. Yeah. Yeah, you will actually go between these two forever, because there are 9 things in the thing, so you're going around 9, right? So you never hit Chaleur combo. So it's never hitting red with our current setup. Bonk 4 also means it will never hit red, right? Because that will go green or green. Yep. So actually I'm going to get rid of that as well. So if we happen to get there, that also wouldn't hit red. Maybe we just take red out. We just ignore red. I'm going to put Stalactite Punches here. It's going to be obvious the reason why in a minute. Stalactite Punches. Cool. So this is going to be Sakapatat Fire. I think that makes the most sense, right? Wait. Extreme Almighty, 3 hits, applies 3 burn on hit. Is that the best? We have more that said Almighty. Any others that work off of Almighty? Change to Almighty attack if they're marked. Well, that would mean someone else would have to be doing a pure mark build, which is sort of there, but not completely there. This is also Almighty Mask. Duelist Storm. 4 hits can break. Break puts you in Almighty, though, which I guess would mean that you get another turn in Almighty. Yeah. Is that the only other Almighty one? I thought there was another one. Is it Lamplighter Light? Yeah. Increase damage each cast. It only moves you 1, so it moves you into blue, which would be fine. But that would then put you into red-blue. How much does... where are we? How much does this one move you? It also moves you 1, so it would put you into red-blue. Yeah. Sorry, it would... Blue would move you 5, which would put you into red. I mean, the Duelist Storm there. Stalactite Punches. Bonk. So, actually, you kind of want a blue that puts you into purple. Right? I think you want a blue that can put you into purple. That would make sense to me. So, you would want a green... So this green will always move you to blue. Blue that could put you into purple. I'm just trying to figure out which reach. So you'd want to do Stalactite Punches. You'd want to do Demi-Ear Thunder. So you do these two continually, right? This one can break, though. That's the problem I have. That can break. But there's no way to be an Almighty Mask for it to break. Right? But that's never going to break. Well, I guess it could break if you use it outside of Almighty Mask. Yeah, I suppose so. Okay. Why would I want to go into here? Why would I want to go in this route? Target has a really big break bar. That would be why I'd want to go in here. So, I want to go from blue to purple. So I need a blue 2. I need a blue 2 to get me in here. I have a blue 3 that can take me to red, but no, I want a blue 2. Give me a blue 2. As a blue 3, there's not going to be a blue 2, is there? It's a blue 4. Blue 3. Blue 6. Blue 3. Blue 6. Blue 5, blue 4. No blue 2. That's probably because if you use the reverse one, then blue 2 is too strong. Yeah. So, blue can't go to purple, so green has to go to purple, right? So actually, I want a green 5. Because a green 5 will always go to purple. So this has to be green 5. So you're looking at Fortify and Shell. It's 4. 5 dark damage. Sacrifice 90% of health to increase damage. Nah, I'd rather not if that's alright. You know, to be honest. It's green 6. Applies defenseless, green 4, green 6, green 6. I green 5, please. Do they make those? There we go. Can break, portier crashed, green 5. Okay. Anything else, or is that it? That's it. Well, there's that plus the one that we saw way up there that gives shell. So I guess portier crash is our option there. Also, that gives you a break, which isn't Duelist Storm, which is nice. So that gives you green, purple. That blue will always hit green. No, it won't. It will mostly hit green. So what we need is a blue that will hit green if I happen to end up in first blue, which I'll end up with after using Duelist Storm. This is an ability I will only use once in a blue moon. So I need a 6 blue. There's gotta be a 6 blue. Yeah, okay. Change to Almighty Mask of target is marked is interesting. So Ben Zero Mortar. 6 blue. Feel like I'm going crazy. It's 3 blue. It's another Sakabata Explosion. I can't change my entire build just to keep Sakabata Explosion. Alright, so we're gonna go with this one. So, let's sanity check it. You start in... whatever. Let's say you start in Almighty. Start in Almighty, your first turn will be either Duelist Storm or Demiurge Thunder. Can't be Demiurge Thunder, because that'll put you in red. This one will put you in red. That'll put you in purple. It could be Ramasur Bonk. It could be Portier. No, that'll put you in red. Can't be that. Could be Stallic Punches. So it'd be Bonker Punches, right? Those would be your two options here. Bonker Punch. You start in blue. Blue 1, you would use Venisura Mortar, because that will move you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It'll move you to green. Yeah, I was just counting it like out, like that, just so I got it. Okay, so that'll move you to green. Then, you know what? Let's move these around. So, Venisura and Demiurge. So Demiurge is going to be what I'm going to put in here. Okay. So then, if you were in the second blue slot, this will move you 5, which will then put you in green 1. Okay. If you start in first one in purple, you use Ramasur Bonk, that puts you in green 1. Second one in purple, puts you in green 2. Perfect. Portier Crash will... oh, sorry. So, if we start in red 1, which we could start in, then it doesn't matter what you use, you're in the wrong spot. Same with red 2. Like red 1 or 2, we just use something that's low AP cost just to get the ball rolling. So probably Demiurge Thunder would make the most sense for both of them, because it put you in green. In green 1, you would use either Stallic Punches, which will put you in blue, or Portier Crash, which will put you in purple. Yep. Green 2, you would use either of them, which will still put you in purple. Wait, no, they can't both put you in purple, right? 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that will put you in... that'll put you in blue on the first one. Yeah, okay. That'll put you in blue on green 1. That'll put you in purple. Green 2, they'll both put you in purple. And then Almighty, we can use whatever we like, but Duelist Storm is obviously top priority. Yeah, okay. Cool. Cool. That makes sense. Does it make sense to you? Makes sense to me. Okay. Upgrade attributes. So Minoko. He actually does want crit. The reason he wants crit is because he wants to have crit break. Therefore, he wants to be up there in crit. His weapon skills off vitality, so it would make sense to have a bunch in vitality, and then the rest should go in agility because he wants to go as many times as possible. That makes perfect sense to me as like his lineup. That's absolute most sense. Let me just check something here just for my sanity. Yes, yours does make sense. Okay, that's fine. Wait. No, yours adds up. You're just a higher level. Yes, that's fine. And yours adds up because you are one level higher. Yes, okay. That makes perfect sense to me. Easy choices there. Next. Pictos. So, sorting by hell. Well, what does he need? Actually, probably needs speed. Let's see. If I got this about the level. Increase damage to burning targets. No, he doesn't do that. Gradient break. 50% gradient charge on breaking a target. I will do that fairly regularly, I imagine. A little extra speed could also be lovely, and then probably something that increases defense. Apply mark on break seems pretty good. Yeah, and then something defense health-wise. In media res. Max health is halved. Yeah, that doesn't really seem like the right thing for him here. No. Although Tainted is an interesting one to think about for Verso, but I don't think that's the path you want to take him. I think Taintin's pretty good, just health and defense. Okay, so compare him to everyone else. Got more defense and more health than CL. Got more defense but less health than Lune. And he's got much less defense than... well, he's got a little bit less defense than Verso and more health. And his speed is the highest so far. Okay. My god, his one just uses extra... I swear that doing things with him just requires extra brain power. I am sorely lacking. So critical break plus breaker seems needed, as does painted power. Right, I don't see a world where you can't have those. Wait a second, how many can I end up with? Let's just head out here. I can take 46 more. Means I can go down to 20. Okay. What's next? What else does he need? Well, anything that gives him extra, like extra AP would be really nice. Energizing parry is interesting for him. Definitely. Energizing turn is also interesting. I kind of like them both. I could take them both. Means he's got that, and then I got another 11 points to spend. Let's sort by point cost. They're in the 10s. What have I got in the 10s? Radiant charge on counter. Burn affinity. Base attack can break. Also regen. Could take an energizing thing in here if I've got anything that's like good. Hitting a stun target with a skill gives him AP? Maybe. First strike, no. Last cannon? I don't think that's actually his build. His build is like actually very specifically not that. Physical damage, don't need to do that. Rifle and shell recovery. Got anything else that seems good here? I guess increased damage on stun targets makes a lot of sense for him. Then 1 costs. He's probably not going to do... I guess defense mode makes the most sense for him. Yeah, just something to keep him alive. It will probably mess up his timings a little bit, but I still think it's good. I think I've come to the conclusion defensive mode's probably really good. Yeah. So that is Monoko. So now means that we've got one person left. Who's Mael? Okay, Mael. What have you got? So we're looking for something around level 20, 21-ish. So self-heal by dealing critical hits, critical chance while defensive stance. If stanceless base attack switches to defenseless. Or, sorry, switches to defensive. There's definitely some argument for just defensive stance crit. Like some kind of weird heal build. While in defensive stance, giving AP also gives AP to allies. I don't want everybody to be like on a... I don't want everybody to have a buffing everyone else build, because if everyone has a buffing everyone else build, then nobody's going to do any damage. Well, that's a mark thing, but that's not really gonna do anything for you. Because you don't have a way of applying mark currently. Or maybe you do. Okay. I like the absurd amount of crit you get here while in defensive stance, but the problem is being in defensive stance lowers your like damage output by quite a lot. Because it halves it. But could be really tanky. Is there anything that crit, like Luminas that are like crit does something? Crit. Critical burn. No. Critical chance on hitting a stun target. Crit if you're below here. Critical chance on defenseless. I was kind of looking for crit apply something, but no, I can't see anything obvious. And we've looked through a lot of this before. I thought there was something like that, but yeah, no idea what I'm looking for. So it's something like, I don't know why I was thinking burn on crit, but I think that might be a weapon that someone has. Okay. In which case we're looking at something like face some here. An offensive stance, double the amount of burn applied. Increased burn damage. Base attack propagates burn. Yeah. I guess we could do offensive stance burn. That seems pretty good. We kinda already have the stuff for this, so it's not like a completely new build. Got anything else that does burn? Oh, also. Sorry. No, it's not her. It's her one, but we'll go with that. Closest we have. Right. Skills. Very high single target damage, reduced AP cost for each attack parried since last turn. I kind of like that actually, just in general. Deals medium damage to all enemies, uses weapons element, applies defenseless. Extreme damage. 5 hits, uses weapons element. Critical hits deal double damage. Is this kind of interesting? Critical hits deal double. So you could stay in defensive and sword ballet. You know what? I like that. Okay. We're going to switch you to this one. So this is always being defensive. So gaining AP will give AP to allies as well, which I guess is kind of nice. If stanceless base attack switches to defensive. 1 AP on stance switch. That's the wrong one. I'm going to look at this one. There you go. 50% critical chance while in defensive stance. So we're going to aim to be in defensive stance as much as possible. So we're going to learn this one. And then this one. That's fine. Sword ballet, what does it do? Again. Critical hits deal double damage and you do more crits in defensive. I guess the only problem is that you would go into stanceless a lot, but stanceless might not be that bad. So you could basically just spam sword ballet if you end up in the right situation. That's kind of like your bread and butter, I'm going to deal damage ability, and it's good in both. It does a lot more in stanceless, but... Or I guess you could switch to offensive each time, but... I think you probably want to be you probably want to just spam this as much as possible, right? So it's sword ballet, sword ballet, sword ballet, sword ballet. Ensor's flurry. I guess that's fine as like a cheaper thing to use. I think mezzo forte is worth having if you don't want to leave your stance, but I guess we could just not care if we leave our stance. I guess actually instead of that we should go for offensive switch then, right? Yeah. So we have multiple ways of applying defenseless now, which is quite nice for dealing extra damage. What else would we want to do here? Don't need to swift stride. Anything that says anything to do with like burning, we don't need to worry about. High single target fire damage, one hit. Damage increased for each hit received since the previous turn. But that means you have to be hit, so we don't want to do that. Gustav's homage is interesting. Momentum strike is also interesting. I guess what's interesting about momentum strike is that it doesn't actually say that it deals more damage. Like, it obviously deals more damage if you're in virtuous, but that's just the normal 200%. So I guess you could do that if they're marked, like momentum strike if they happen to be marked. That's fine. Not that one. If defenseless play a second turn, that's probably worth thinking about. Yeah. It would allow you to do a switch and then immediately back into sword ballet. If you had enough AP per turn. Right, if you had enough, you could do that. And then one last thing. That's interesting. Gives a gradient charge. So we'd have no break, but I guess we're mostly hoping that we would break via verso in that way. Yeah, I guess that makes sense for me. So Phantom Strike would then apply gradient charge. Yeah, so you'd basically be aiming to use sword ballet like 99% of the time, if you could get the AP. So breaking rules cost 3. Okay. So in order to sword ballet, you would have to generate at least 3 AP, or sorry, at least 2 extra AP in order to be able to do breaking rules sword ballet, right? Because you would need to do that and then immediately switch on your next turn. So, with that in mind, we already know what we're looking for here. And she's got 88. 22 is her number. So I think that we want to give her... I'm getting confused as to buttons for a second there. We want to give her Energizing Turn. Point cost. Energy Master. So that would give her 2 AP per honor turn start, which would then, plus the base AP that she gets from starting a turn, that would then mean that breaking rules would cost you nothing to use if they're defenseless. So what would the idea be? Well, it'd be you've applied defenseless here, you've then sword balleted at some point, they're still defenseless, so you breaking rules sword ballet. That's the idea. I got 6 points to spend. What's my favorites? Have we got anything that's worth that? Painted power. Wait, did I take painted power? I did. Okay, painted power, painted power, painted power. Okay. I got 1 point to spend. Not ideal to only have 1 point here. Yeah. Not ideal. Guess defensive mode? No, because I need to get to 9 with her. I don't know. I guess healing 10 energy? There we go. I didn't look at her Pictos first. Oh no, that means my things might be in the wrong order. Oh, if I can get Energy Master, actually, that would be great. Assuming it's within my range. Energy Master. It's level 30. It's a little too like, it's outside our level range. For Energizing Turn. Level 14? Okay, I saved myself 20 points with that. It's not ideal. You need something that gives you defense now on this one. In Media Res, I don't think you want to lower your health that much. Apply Shell and applying Rush. Well, you're not going to do either, but the defense is probably pretty nice. Plus the speed. And then, actually, her going a little bit slower is fine because we want more parries to give her more AP. So, health is probably the only thing we need here. Anti-Blight? Yeah? That seems good. So her defense is actually really high. Her health is not, and her speed is definitely low, but I think that's okay with her here. We now have another 20 points to spend, because I just saved us 20 points. So what do I want to fit in here now I've just saved us 20 points? Warming up is fine. Be pretty good. Energizing parry is probably your best option. 5 points. Well, I haven't put in any stats actually yet. You're probably not going to crit because it's defense and vitality. I forgot that she actually hasn't got any stats in. That's why she has no defense. Oh, but that's still okay. We have 5 points left to spend. Not sure what the play is here. I mean, shortcut is nice because it would mean that she gets a turn quite quickly. Revive Paradox as well is quite nice, just to give it extra turns very, very quickly. Damage received is doubled. Potentially. 15% of all heals affecting others. Gradient Break. No. Energizing Start could be quite nice. I guess the ability to start with a little, just be a little bit higher. Critical vulnerability on defenseless enemies. There we go. That'll work. Yeah. Okay. Now we just need to go and put in stats for her, which I forgot to do. Which would explain why she's significantly lower than everyone else. Defense and vitality. I mean, her speed is not that bad, I guess. Yeah, I'll probably end up being okay. If we want to put in a little extra, we could. No, I think just defense vitality, right? Something like that. Makes our weapon much stronger, makes her much tougher. That's my play. Okay. That's her now done. Her defense is now insane. Do we need to potentially lower her defense? By that I mean, would we apply something with higher speed if we could? What's the so it's 400 is what we're looking at here. So what's the highest speed we got? 439. So that's effective. Oh wait, sniper? 500. So effectively the question is, would you like 140 speed for and a little crit for a 1000 defense? Probably not. No. Okay. Cool. That is us set up for level yeah, set up for level 66. Okay. Cool. And now we need something suitable to play us out. And that's going to be this. Okay, so we have now done our full builds for all of our characters at level 66, which should be around the right level for us to do the final boss, which I think is good. We're not going to level up at all, we're not going to look at anything. If a weapon that we have equipped happens to level up, then we can go with it. Also, if we find a weapon in the final area, and it is a higher level, we can use that as justification to level our weapons beyond where we are, and we have enough crafting material to level them all, probably to max, right? So whatever we find, we can work with. So that's going to be fine here. That's going to be absolutely fine. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this little bit of a build episode. It's something a little bit weird, but it's given us many different builds that I'm going to completely forget about in terms of how to use. So we have CL, All Moon. We have Lune, I'm only going to use base attack. We have Verso, I'm going to buff everybody else. We have Mael, I'm going to use Sword Ballet and be in defensive stance and deal double damage with crits in defensive stance. Right? Yeah, so she's going to deal double damage with the Sword Ballet when it crits. So it's all sorts of interesting stuff there. Also self-heal when you do those crits from Sword Ballet. Just kind of weird. And then we have Minoko's, I'm going to break the enemy target via any means possible. And he's going to do it a lot. Yeah. Who do I think has the strongest build out of these characters? I think the strongest build is by far Minoko. Why? Minoko's build was designed, and it had to be fully designed, as in we went turn by turn how it will work, because there's no other way to do a Minoko build, because you have to look at the wheel. I think that in my power ranking, just based off our start, is Minoko is 100% number 1. Oh, number 2, I think is CL. Because I think that infinite stacking can't be bad. Like this, if I've read this right, her weapon infinitely stacks, right? Yeah, 25% increased damage per charge. So, yeah, she's going to infinitely stack. The only problem that she has is that her damage is going to be doubled, which is not ideal. Didn't really think about that. She's a very, very glass cannon. Maybe I should have given her glass cannon, but would that make her would that make her too weak? Maybe. She might need more health. Oh yeah, also, if we find a Pictos which is a higher level, we can upgrade our Pictos. These are my rules that I'm just creating for ourselves here. So, CL, I think is my number 2. Number 3... I don't know if I can call any of these good. I think I give it to Verso, because Verso's is probably quite neutrally good, because he buffs everyone else. Right? Verso is neutrally good, so therefore he is in the slot number 3. I kind of think that Lune's sucks. I think it's going to be terrible, which means it's Mael and then Lune. Yeah, I think that's the that's my power ranking. That's my guess for where everything's gonna line out. I think Mael's we're gonna run into. I think she's gonna not have enough AP to make her stuff work. I think that Lune's gonna have too much AP and the base attack is not gonna do enough damage to make this weird build worth it. I think Verso is gonna be underutilized by having him be a buff bot. CL is going to do incredible amounts of damage, but probably be a little bit AP starved. She could be fixed. Like, I think her build is better the more Luminas you have. And then I think Minoko's is going to be actually good enough for us to keep using after we're done with this, because I actually think that it's insane. Ramesur Bonk is actually nuts, right? Because it feels 20% of a break bar. Like, that seems insane, right? There's so much you could do with that. Because that means that 5 Ramesur Bonks, and you're now, like, ready to break a target. I mean, he does have to take 5 turns for that to happen, but, I mean, a lot of targets have huge amount of break bars, and it takes a long time to get through them, so. Anyway, that is our team, and that is the end of the episode. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.